I just recently asked my subscribers to send me pictures of their LEGO Star Wars collections, and you guys responded very well, sending me way more collections than I can fit into this video, so because of that I apologize if you did not end up getting featured. There is still always next time, and speaking of next time, if you're new and want to be featured, just join my Discord and you can submit your pictures there. The link is in the description below. This first one comes from Max Areno, and the first thing I notice about it is obviously you have those black shelves, but more importantly, it looks like you have custom stands for most of your sets. Like up in the top right corner, you have the Slave 1 along with the 2014 Star Destroyer, both on custom stands. From this picture, I actually can't make out which Slave 1 that is. I want to say it's the 2019 20th anniversary model, but I honestly can't tell. And then you have some other sets on stands too, like the Y-Wing and the X-Wing next to each other, which looks awesome. And then on the other side, you also have Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptors along with the Bad Batch shuttle on stands too, which again, I really like. I love how stands are so simple, but they can give such an awesome upgrade to your display and make your collection look so much more vibrant and so much more alive. Another thing I noticed is that it looks like he has a custom tri-droid down there on the left. I'm not sure where he got that from, and honestly I can't tell, but the ball on top actually kind of looks like the Death Star planet set, but I might be wrong. And then obviously front and center there is that awesome frame of minifigures. From the distance that you took the picture from, I can't really make out many minifigures. Like I think I see Queen Amidala at the top and then a Royal Guard right in the middle, but despite the figures you have in there, I really like your display case, and I just like your display overall. It's very simple and everything is very methodically placed, so because of that I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. This next one comes from Super Star Destroyer, and the first thing I notice is that it looks like you're running low on shelving space. You definitely have some great sets like the 2006 Star Destroyer and the 2019 AT-AP, as well as the UCS Super Star Destroyer that you sent in another picture. I guess that's where your name came from. You just have it kind of sitting here on this bookshelf. I'm not sure where its stand and display plaque is at. And then in this other picture he's got some bigger shelves with more sets. I mean, the sets in this collection are great, don't get me wrong, it just looks like you're not really displaying them to the best of your ability. Like in this first picture, there's definitely room right here for a bigger shelf because there's like 2 feet of extra space on the left, and then in this other picture that you sent with the bigger shelves, it looks like it's just a bit sloppy. So again, I mean, you have a great collection, it's just you're not displaying it that well, so I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. This next one comes from Exo the Colexo, and right off the bat, this guy definitely knows what he's doing. He's got so many great sets that are all displayed so nicely, from Star Wars to Marvel to Castle, and this whole room just seems like it has such a great vibe with those posters at the top. Even though Polo G's mid, it all just looks so great. And he's even got more with the Master Builder series Mos Eisley Cantina, as well as the 2019 Kylo Ren shuttle, and all 3 of the Ahsoka sets that released this year. I mean, this is overall just a very solid collection. Although one thing I will say is that I actually don't personally display my minifigures on shelves, I just put them in bags separately. I just only like showing off the actual models of these sets. I don't display my minifigures, but that's just personal nitpick. I think this collection and display is easily a 10 out of 10. This next one comes from Double M, and there are a lot of great things about this guy's collection. The most notable part obviously being the Millennium Falcon, as well as the X-Wings and the E-Wing and the A-Wing on the wall right above his bed. It just looks awesome. I usually don't like when people like hang ships from the ceiling or put them on the wall like this, but the way you've done it here and the way you've positioned them makes it look really clean and minimalistic. And then on the right we have what is by far my favorite part of your collection, which is a bunch of May 4th promos and other poly bags that are all in these really nice display frames. I have no idea where you got those from, but they look awesome. And you have all the fan favorite ones like the Shadow ARF Trooper, the White Boba Fett, and the Chrome Stormtrooper. The way you have them displayed in those cases just looks super clean, and I'd really like to know where you got those from. And then he sent some pictures of the rest of his display, and it looks good, don't get me wrong, but I definitely don't think it looks as good as the first picture with the ships on the wall and then the poly bags. But still, he's got a lot of notable sets in his collection, like the 2019 Rebel Blockade Runner up there at the top, as well as the Master Builder series Cantina down there in the middle, and then numerous clone armies spread around. It looks really good, and he's definitely got some incredible sets. And then in this last picture, he's got the UCS Star Destroyer in a very sketchy place. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks awesome up there. I really don't think it's possible to make this set look bad, but I mean, like, if you're walking by and not paying attention, one accidental bump to that dresser and that thing is just gone, so I would personally move it somewhere else, but still, it looks pretty cool up there. I'm gonna give your collection and display overall a 9 out of 10. The area around your bed with the ships on the wall and the poly bags is definitely a 10 out of 10 easily, but the rest of it really isn't as clean as that one area, so I'm gonna take off 1 point and give it a 9 out of 10. This next one comes from Axel, and I can tell that this guy has been collecting for a long time because he's got a lot of classic sets, like both the 2003 ATTE and then the 2008 ATTE right next to each other, and then right under that is a whole shelf of 2005 Kashyyyk sets with 2 Wookiee attacks as well as the Catamaran, and he's also got other great sets scattered around, like I think I see the 2005 Turbo Tank and the 2011 Turbo Tank, as well as the 2007 MTT. This guy really does just have all of the fan favorite sets. He's also got some other pictures too with the UCS Venator as well as the Mos Eisley, and then the Rivendell set, which is one of my favorite sets of all time, and even more with sets like the 2009 Home 1 and then the 2006 Star Destroyer. This guy really does have it all. His collection alone is easily a 10 out of 10, although his display is a bit sloppy, I will say, especially in this first picture, because there's definitely some extra room up there at the very top of the shelves next to Commander Cody and Captain Rex, where some of these other sets could go and kind of just space out the whole display and make it a little bit more cleaner. So I'm going to give your collection and display overall a 9 out of 10. The collection alone is easily a 10 out of 10. I just feel like you're not displaying it to its full potential. If you moved around some of these sets, especially to the open spaces, it could look a lot better. So I'm going to take off 1 point because of that, but your collection alone has so many incredible sets that I can't take off more than 1 point. This next one comes from Rebop, and right off the bat I can say this is very, very clean. Your collection isn't super big like some of the others, but just the way you're displaying them with these sets spaced out so evenly just makes it look super clean and appealing, and I know that you know what you're doing. I also really appreciate the glass cases. Even though they're not quite as clean looking as these shelves, they still look really awesome. And speaking of the shelves, you're not displaying all your minifigures in front of the models, which is obviously extra points for me because I like when it's just the models being displayed. So I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. The open shelf alone looks incredible. That's definitely a 10 out of 10, but I think the way you're displaying your sets in the glass cases could use some work. Now this last one comes from a guy named Craig Garrett. He sent it a few months ago, but I just had to include it in this video. It's one of the best displays I have ever seen in my life. He literally has almost every UCS set perfectly displayed on these glass cases and inside these glass cases. Literally everything from the UCS Darth Maul and UCS General Grievous to both of the UCS Falcons as well as the UCS Super Star Destroyer, along with the Death Star 2 and the Imperial Shuttle, and literally countless others. I'm pretty sure he has every single UCS set besides the 2002 UCS Star Destroyer, because that's the only one I don't see in any of these pictures. I see the 2019 one in the first picture, but I don't see the 2002 model anywhere. So I mean, that as a collection alone is just extremely impressive. But on top of that, the way he is displaying everything with the bigger sets on top of the glass cases, and then inside the glass cases he's got all these ships on these awesome stands, just displaying them in such awesome ways. I love how he has the Playscale Falcons at sort of an angle with the panels lifted up to show the interiors, and how he's also got the First Order Star Destroyer as well as the 2014 Imperial Star Destroyer at sort of an angle where they're pairing with each other. I mean, it really is just incredible. There's so much to talk about. I could go on for forever. This guy has one of the best collections I've ever seen, and on top of that, he is displaying it so perfectly. This might be the best display I've ever seen. I'm not even lying about that. So obviously this is gonna get a 10 out of 10. I literally don't think it could be any better. I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but again, this is by far one of the best displays and collections I have ever seen in my life. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do another one of these, but I will do another one at some point, and if you want to be featured, you can join the Discord. The link is in the description below, and that is where you can submit your pictures for a chance to be featured. But as of now, that's the end of this video. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the end screen right now.